Good morning, I am Praram Adhar. Let's begin with the main stories. The Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority fails to bring politicians amassing illegal wealth into jurisdiction, found only investigating public officials. The directives issued by the Parliament's Public Accounts Committee to take action against officials involved in financial irregularities failed to materialize. The National Reconstruction Authority demands fake earthquake victims to return reconstruction grants. The number of individuals complying, however, turns out very low. And Tottenham Hotspur's seen off familiar rivals Chelsea by 1-0 in the first leg of the semi-finals at the English League Cup. Maurizio Sarri says numerous chances for Chelsea comeback in the second leg. Let us now begin with the latest national political updates. The Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority (CIAA) had shared a report stating that 25% of the corruption seen in the country was in the political level. The data was shared by the authority 2 months back. However, despite having such information, it has been more than a decade that the CIAA has carried out investigations on politicians who have amassed huge amount of illegal money through corruption. In the latest action taken by the CIAA in regards to corruption, the authority dragged former managing director of Nepal Oil Corporation, Gopal Khadka, to the special court, alleging he had amassed properties worth 186.6 million rupees, for which he could not disclose proper sources. However, it is obvious that Khadka is not the only official who has amassed an unnatural amount of wealth by abusing their power and possession. There are many politicians whose names have been linked to many previous corruption scandals, like that of the procurement of wide-body aircrafts by the Civil Aviation Authority, Ensel dividend case and Sudan scam. There are many public officials whose affluent lifestyle clearly depicts that they are earning more than what the state offers for their possession. However, the CIAA, apart from some rare cases, has not dared to file cases against any politician so far. The CIAA is the only constitutional body that is responsible for carrying out investigations in any unnatural amount of wealth accumulated by public officials. The authority had even concluded that maximum corruption took place at the political level. However, out of the 194 corruption cases filed in the last fiscal year alleging the involvement of 424 individuals, none of them are politicians. This has raised a serious question on CIAA's effectiveness. In most of the cases, public officials hide their wealth by buying properties in someone else's name. In yesterday's revelation, the CIA stated that former managing director of Nepal Oil Corporation, Gopal Khadka, had purchased properties worth more than 70 million rupees in someone else's name. Amid so many of the corruption cases seen so far, it is high time that the authority dares to carry out investigations against any and every individual involved in corruption and brings them to jurisdiction. The directives issued by the Parliament's Public Accounts Committee to take action against officials by determining their involvement in financial irregularities have, however, failed to materialize. As the directives have largely failed to get implemented, speculations are rife that the committee randomly came up with the decisions without comprehensive investigation and adequate evidences. The Public Accounts Committee directed to immediately suspend and take action against Tourism Secretary Krishna Prasad Devkota and Nepal Airlines Corporation's Executive Director Sugat Ratna Kansakar, concluding that involvement in corruption during the procurement of the two wide-body aircrafts. Prior to this, the report unveiled by the subcommittee of the Parliamentary Committee had already confirmed the corruption amounting to 4.35 billion rupees during the purchase of the aircrafts. The government, however, did not trust the report and formed a separate committee to probe into the matter. In another instance, the same parliamentary committee confirmed irregularity on the part of the Ministry of Industries while setting up the price of sugar at 70 rupees per kilogram. The committee also directed the ministry to reduce the price to 63 rupees. The government, however, turned deaf ears to the directive. The former chairman of the Public Accounts Committee are familiar with the trend of government authorities failing to abide by its instructions in several occasions in the past as well. The Constitution has bestowed the right to the committee to direct the government to take action against the guilty by overseeing and investigating its activities. However, the outcomes of such investigations should be based on facts for them to be trustworthy and authentic. The National Reconstruction Authority had set the deadline of the 30th of December 2018 for the fake earthquake victims to return the government's reconstruction grant. The number of such individuals returning money, however, has turned out to be very low. There is not even any clear provision to return the money distributed owing to the flaw during the collection of the victims' statistics. The government neither has any moral basis to identify and prosecute the fake victims who have already collected the reconstruction grant. On the other hand, there are instances of real earthquake victims being denied to get enlisted in the beneficiaries list despite repeated requests. Engineers involved in collecting the details mistakenly identified some of the victims as already having their houses. However, neither the field study was conducted in this regard, nor any grants were provided to the real victims. Some of the individuals nonetheless have made it to the beneficiaries list despite being affected by the earthquake for them being identified otherwise.
भुइँचालोले घर भत्कियो बस्नु नहुने छ 4-5 वटा गुनासोमा भर्यो पैसा रात परेको छैन अरूले घर बनाएर अरूको पर्यो घर बनाएर नि बसिसक्यो हाम्रो पर्या छैन.
Out of more than 823,000 earthquake affected families from 32 different districts, around 738,000 have received their first installment of the reconstruction grant so far. Among them, only around 578,000 families have started rebuilding their houses. As many as 200,000 families have not even started reconstructing their houses. The National Reconstruction Authority has anticipated that half of them could have been listed as beneficiaries based on fake credentials. The authority has tried to shy away from its responsibility over the victims' identity cards issued by itself, citing that some individuals resorted to foul play, taking advantage of the flexibility it had maintained.
व्यक्तिले नै सही सूचना दिनुपर्ने त उसको पहिलो कर्तव्य हो. यदि व्यक्तिले सही सूचना नदिएर गर्दा गर्दै हामीले विचार पुर्याउँदै त्यो लगत सङ्कलनको क्रममा अनुदान सम्बन्धको क्रममा मेरो घर छैन कहीँ पनि छैन यति हो भनेर अब व्यक्तिले नै तपाईको झुटा विवरण दिएर त्यस किसिमले अब उले उद्देश्य नै त्यही राखेर पनि कहिलेकाहीँ झुक्किन सकिन्छ र झुक्काउन सक्ने अवस्था पनि हुन्छ र अथवा तपाईको विभिन्न यो अन्जानको कारणले पनि हुन सक्छ तपाईको गलत मनसायको कारणले पनि हुन सक्छ अब जनशक्तिको कमको कारणले अथवा तपाईको समयको एउटा काम गर्ने समयको चाहको कारणले विविध जसो कारणले भएका छन्.
It is clear that the government's grant has been distributed to the fake victims due to procedural errors and illicit involvement of the government employees themselves. Yet, making the families return the money while putting aside the blame towards unidentified individuals exhibits shame and managerial weaknesses on the part of the authority dedicated to rehabilitate the families whose lives have already been severely affected by the devastating earthquake. The knowledge and skills of school teachers on specific subjects are now to be assessed through the tests for obtaining teaching licenses. The Teacher Service Commission itself is preparing to issue different licenses to teachers by evaluating them on particular subjects to determine the subjects they are eligible to teach in public schools. Most of the community schools across the country lack teachers for science, mathematics, and English. A majority of students fail in these three subjects during the SEE examination due to the shortage of specialist teachers. The Teacher Service Commission thus is preparing to conduct subject-wise tests to help select teachers who are skilled in particular subject areas. The tests would also assess the teachers' instruction abilities and their skills in handling and cooperating with students. Meanwhile, the Commission has already prepared thematic curriculum to go along with the plan. After acquiring licenses through such a procedure, the teachers in community schools will only be able to teach the subjects they are eligible in. The Commission has been providing same kinds of teacher licenses for different levels of school education as of now. The mechanism has so far been compelling a single teacher to teach up to 3 different subjects in community schools. Due to this, experts have opined that subject-wise selection of teachers would not be free from challenges and that the government should also increase teachers' reservations for specific subjects so as to make the scheme effective. Entrepreneurs in the manpower sector have expressed reservations against the government after the government prepared for an act increasing the security deposit amount by 15 times. The entrepreneurs have complained that the Parliament did not hold any discussions before preparing for such provisions. Meanwhile, the Parliament's Labour Committee has consoled the entrepreneurs that it would persuade the Parliament to not increase the security deposit amount. Likewise, the Labour Committee has also stated that it would facilitate in restarting the processes for sending labour to Malaysia and would suggest the government for revision of the service fees. Manpower entrepreneurs shared that it would be impossible for them to do business if the security deposit amount was increased. Likewise, the entrepreneurs have also said that it was unfair of the government to want to send workers without any investment, at the same time increase the security deposit amount by up to 15 times. The entrepreneurs also criticized the government of its inability to resume sending workers to Malaysia and questioned who would bear the 300 million rupees cost of 20,000 workers preparing to go to Malaysia. The amount of remittance has increased by 36% this fiscal year compared to last year. However, the number of workers going abroad has decreased by 40%. In the absence of proper employment opportunities in the country, it is imperative on the part of the government to better manage and strengthen the foreign employment sector. More than half a dozen incidents of fire have been reported in Dadildura in the past 2 weeks alone. In this context, we had asked the businessmen in Dadildura what should be done to minimize the damages caused by fire. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
यो बजारमा अलि उटपुटाङ मान्छेहरू जो राति बिना कामको पनि घुमिरहेछ, यो ड्रग्स लगाउने कामहरू भइरहेछ, यो केटाहरू यस्तो हिसाबको छ, यसलाई चाहिँ नियन्त्रण गर्नुपर्छ।
यहाँ निरन्तर रूपले 4 पटक आगो लागिसक्यो। यो चाहिँ अब दैविक प्रकोप नै हो कि यो चाहिँ सुनियोजित प्रायोजित ढङ्गले भइरहेको हो। यसका लागि स्थानीय प्रशासन जसले चाहिँ यहाँको शान्ति सुरक्षा, यहाँको सबै व्यवस्था अमन चयन गर्नका लागि भूमिका निभाउनु पर्ने हो। यसले अहम भूमिका निभाउनु पर्छ।
सुरक्षा निकायको गस्ती बढाउनु पर्यो। सीसी क्यामेरा जस्ता वस्तुहरूलाई चाहिँ मुख्य बजार क्षेत्रहरूमा चाहिँ लगाउनु पर्यो र यो जो सौर्य बत्तीहरू छन् ती बत्तीहरूलाई चाहिँ 10-15 मिटरको हाराहारीमा चाहिँ त्यो सौर्य बत्तीहरूलाई चाहिँ लगाउनु पर्यो।
डोल्द्रा जिल्लाको सदरमुकाम अव्यवस्थित पुरानो परम्परागत बजार छ, जहाँ समयमा दमकल पुग्न सक्दैन, साधन स्रोतहरूलाई हामीले पुर्याउन सक्दैनौँ। त्यसका अभावले यदि यसलाई समयमा रोकथाम गर्न सकेनौँ भने भोलि अर्को ठुलो जटिल चाहिँ तपाईको चाहिँ ठुलो दुर्घटना हुन सक्ने सम्भावना हामीले देखेका छौँ।
जनचेतना फैलाएर शान्ति सुरक्षा पनि बढाउनु पर्छ।
It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, why have the decisions made by the Public Accounts Committee not been implemented effectively? Your options are A. Weak investigations, B. Political interferences, and C. Unclear jurisdiction. The voting is on. You can type NEWS, select your option A, B or C, and then send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. With this, let us move on to the sports news.
Sports news.
Tottenham Hotspurs have seen off their familiar rivals Chelsea by 1-0 in the first leg of the semi-finals at the English League Cup. Harry Kane converted a penalty in the 26th minute of the interesting match after the English forward was fouled by Chelsea's goalkeeper Kepa. It was the only goal of the match as Kane scored through the spot kick. Despite good moves from both the sides after the penalty, neither of them found the net. Second leg of the match is scheduled for the 24th of January at Chelsea's home ground, the Stamford Bridge. Having suffered a narrow margin defeat, Chelsea manager Maurizio Sarri has said that there were great possibilities for the Blues to make a comeback in the second leg. Tottenham Hotspurs have now won 3 matches in succession against Chelsea for the first time since 1963. It was Chelsea's 3rd consecutive loss at the Wembley Stadium. Manang Mersangdi Club's winning streak at the Martyrs Memorial A-Division League has come to an end after losing to Friends Club 1-0 in the last match of the tournament. Manang Mersangdi had, however, claimed the title of the Martyrs Memorial A-Division League with 2 matches to spare. With the loss, Manang Mersangdi have failed to set a record of claiming the title by winning all their matches. In the match played at the Anfa complex in South Dubai, Lalitpur, Friends Club upset league champions Manang Mersangdi Club through Vikas Lama's header. Manang played aggressively throughout the match but failed to score. Despite the loss, Manang Mersangdi have become champions of the Martyrs Memorial A-Division League by securing 36 points from 13 matches. By claiming the title, Manang will be able to play at the AFC Cup. Along with the trophy, Manang Mersangdi Club have been awarded a cash prize of 5 billion rupees. Meanwhile, second place Sankatak have bagged 3.5 million rupees and third place 3-Star Club have claimed 2.5 million rupees. Likewise, fourth placed Tribhuvan Army Club were handed 1.5 million rupees, fifth placed Armed Police Force claimed 700,000 rupees, and sixth placed Nepal Police Club had to settle for 500,000 rupees in prize money. Brigade Boys claimed the Fair Play Award of the tournament, while Manang's Bishal Shrestha was adjudged the best goalkeeper, and 3 stars Ranjit Dimal claimed the Best Defender Award. Likewise, the Best Midfielder award went to Manang's Heman Gurung. The Best Striker award was given to 3-1 Army's Bharat Khawas, and Suman Shrestha won the Best Coach of the tournament. All the winners of the categorical awards were each handed a Pulsar motorbike and prize money of 50,000 rupees. Meanwhile, the Manisha Emerging Player Award was handed to 3-1 Army Club's Vikas Khawas. 3-1 Army Club have advanced to the semi-finals of the Falgun Ananda Gold Cup, defeating home team Fedim Sporting Club 3-1 in a tie-breaker. In the match played in Fedim Pasthar, the match had to be decided through a tie-breaker as it ended in a 2-all draw after 90 minutes of regulation play. Both the goals for 3-1 Army in regulation play were scored by Rajiv Gurung. Pravin Jabegu and foreign recruit Stefan scored a goal each for Fedim Sporting Club in regulation play. However, in the tie-breaker, Rajesh Podal, Eric Besta and Bishwas Chaudhary scored for 3-1 Army, while only Pravin Jabegu was able to score for Fedim Sporting Club. Today's match features a clash between Saraswati Club Jhapa and Sunsari 11. The reconstruction of the international swimming pool at Saddabato Lalitpur, which was damaged by the April 2015 earthquake, has reached the final stage. The swimming pool is getting its new look with the assistance from the Chinese government. The pool is facilitated to hold competitions even during the night time. Not only the Nepal Swimming Association has gone through a huge loss following the swimming pool's damage, the national players have also been having a hard time for trainings. The government of China is preparing to hand over the swimming pool to Nepal government on the 1st of February 2019 after its reconstruction. The swimming pool has been equipped with touchpads along with some advanced technological features like floodlights, making it operational also during nighttime, besides a new sound system and scoreboard. All these facilities will make it possible to organize international swimming tournaments. The pool will benefit from both the players and trainers after China hands it over to the government and help improve the national standard of swimming. The Chinese government has spent as much as 1.2 billion rupees in the construction of the swimming pool, shooting range and the track of the Dashrath Stadium. And now, before we wrap up, here's a look at the top stories one more time. The Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority fails to bring politicians amassing illegal wealth into jurisdiction, found only investigating public officials. The directives issued by the Parliament's Public Accounts Committee to take action against officials involved in financial irregularities failed to materialize. The National Reconstruction Authority demands fake earthquake victims to return reconstruction grants. The number of individuals complying, however, turns out very low. And Tottenham Hotspurs have seen our familiar rivals Chelsea by 1-0 in the first leg of the semi-finals of the English League Cup. Maurizio Sarri says numerous chances for Chelsea come back in the second leg. That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 AM. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.